In this video, we're going to talk about the Texas Chain Saw Massacre Leatherface from the NECA Retro Cloth line. Welcome to the Swearwolves Horror Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Brett. If you're a returning subscriber, I just want to thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking that subscribe button as well as the notification bell below. We upload videos on a regular basis in which we review anything and everything horror, from action figures and toys to soundtracks to various collectibles, you name it. And today we're talking about this Butcher Leatherface from the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. Now I call him Butcher Leatherface because he's wearing like the butcher apron and he's butchering people. He does change into Pretty Lady and to the old grandma later on in the film. So when I talk about this Leatherface, he's going to be called the Butcher Leatherface. Now this is the last one I needed to complete my set of the Retro Cloth line of figures from Texas Chain Saw Massacre, both 1 and 2, at least the ones that have been released that I know of. But this is the last one I needed. And for some reason, I started collecting these only a couple years ago, so it's taken me a while to go back. This was probably one of the early ones that were released, and it just, wasn't on my radar when it did come out, and it's not easily accessible in stores anymore, so I had to order this online. But I did get it, and it's here. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. We got some good artwork on the front here. Always with this retro line of figures, there's some good artwork. We'll talk about that after we open this bad boy up. And you can see on the back, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. This is the tragic tale of 5 young friends who venture into rural Texas one hot afternoon and become victims in one of the most bizarre and brutal crimes in Travis County history. Many of them meet a horrific end at the hands of the murderous lunatic Leatherface in what comes to be known as the Texas Chain Saw Massacre. I always found it interesting that chainsaw is 2 words, but chainsaw is 1 word. I looked it up not that long ago, actually, because we reviewed it on the podcast, and I was like, which one's correct? Because I always thought chainsaw was 1 word, and I think there's multiple ways that you can spell it, and both are correct. So it's either chain saw or chainsaw. I prefer chainsaw. So I'm no John Larroquette, so that reading probably wasn't that good, but we're not here for me reading. We're here for me to talk about the toys and review the toys. So let's open this figure up and see what we're dealing with. All right, we got the figure open, but before we get to the figure and the accessories, let's talk a little bit about this artwork. This is another example of great artwork by the artist Jason Edmiston, and Mr. Edmiston does a great job, again, with representing this Leatherface. Just pick it up and show you a little bit closer here. I just really love his artwork, and I'll have to see if maybe he has a website or something that I can go to, but there's his name, Jason Edmiston, down there in the right hand corner. But I would love a book of his artwork if at all possible, so I'm gonna have to check that out and see if there's something available. Let's talk about the figure and the accessories. The accessories first, like we always do. Leatherface comes with a sledgehammer, which of course is his weapon of choice. When we first encounter Leatherface, he has a sledgehammer and he knocks the gentleman on the head, who proceeds to convulse as Leatherface drags him away. Good detail on the handle here, just a black wood grain-esque type handle with some weathering on it. And then of course the sledgehammer, business end of the sledgehammer, has some speckles of blood, just some all-around good detail on that. Put that aside, we got the chainsaw. Now this chainsaw has been in the package for a while, so it's a little bent, but nothing that it is rubber, so it'll come back, but maybe put a little hair dryer on it, flatten it out a little bit, put some weights on it for a little while, and it'll retain its flat shape. But let's talk about the detail on the chainsaw. It looks like a chainsaw, a yellow chainsaw. Some weathering on there, some good detail on every aspect of it, some blood splatter. And then, of course, the actual saw itself, kind of a gunmetal grayish color with some blood stains. So besides it being bent, it's perfectly fine. I'll probably have Leatherface just holding the the sledgehammer for this character. I have other Leatherfaces holding chainsaws, so we know. Okay, let's talk about the figure. We'll talk about the articulation first. We have side-to-side movement, up and down, and then we have a ball joint in the shoulder, bend at the elbow, and then of course the hands can turn and go in and out. He does have a little bit of waist movement side to side, and then bends at the hips, which are also on a ball, and then the knees bend, and the feet. Detail wise, this is a good representation of Leatherface. Leatherface looks like he's scared, to say the least. He just saw like a mouse on the floor. He's all, but still good detail in the mask. The eyes, I wish were a little bit more menacing. He's got psycho eyes, so that's correct. The hair, this molded hair, which I am always a fan of. Good detail in that. The mask is great. It's got that little metal piece that holds the mouth open. You can see his mouth and his teeth. Have seen better days. Gunnar Hansen, the actor who played Leatherface in the original Texas Chain Saw Massacre, was a really nice person, at least when I met him. By all accounts, he was. He's no longer with us, but if you had a chance to meet him, he was just a really gentle giant. So nice to me and my friends when we met him and got his autograph, and willing to talk to us about the movie. So if you get a chance to watch any documentaries about the Texas Chain Saw Massacre and you see interviews with him, you know what kind of pain he went through playing this role. It was hot in Texas, to say the least. The one thing I don't like about this figure, he's wearing short sleeves, which is fine, because he does in the movie. However, there's no detail whatsoever in the arms. The arms are bare. They look like they just came off of the Max Effects or a G.I. Joe arm. So that I'm not really keen on. But the hands have good detail. So when the hands don't match the arms, it's a little weird to me. But that's my own personal opinion. We got the tie represented here. You know, with these figures, when they have cloth accessories, they're always a little more poofy, if that is a word. I think it is. Puffy shirt.
Yeah.
Hi, Kramer. Guess what? I just saw Brian Gumble. He said he might help out at the benefits.
Great. It's the puffy shirt.
They're always a little bit more puffy and poofy, and that's just, I come to expect that from these figures. I do like the apron, the butcher's apron with all the blood stains, and then he's got his jeans on, which mine are a little bit frayed down here, and then the boots, which are great. Got some blood splatter on that. I do like the boots and the sculpt of the boots. The back side of the figure, just jeans. And of course, the shirt and the butcher's apron, which is tied in the back. Overall, sculpt-wise, I'm going to take away some points for the arms, but I would give it a solid 3.5 out of 5 Pamela Voorhees heads. I like the accessories. If you have any opinions on Leatherface from this retro line of figures, please drop a comment down below, and if you like the video, please click that like button. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed and you feel so inclined, click both the subscribe button and the notification bell. We are the Swearwolves Horror Podcast, and we do a weekly show in which we review horror movies, so you can check us out by searching for the Swearwolves wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. You can also visit our website at theswearwolves.com. So, for the Swearwolves, I'm Brett. Hi, this is Brett with the Swearwolves, and when I'm not busy editing videos or making content for YouTube, I just sit here and wait. And wait. If you like the video that you just saw, go ahead and check out that video right there. And if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and click that button right there. I'll wait.